And this is proven, or this concept is addressed in the Quran when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى فَادْعُوهُ بِهَا. To Allah belong the most beautiful names, so invoke Allah using those names. وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى فَادْعُوهُ بِهَا. Make dua using those names. This is in the Quran. To Allah belong the most beautiful names, so make dua using those names. And this is a very well-known prophetic sunnah, which unfortunately many of us do not avail ourselves to. We should always begin our du'as with praising Allah. And the best praise to give to Allah is His names. So whenever we raise our hands, we don't just say, "Oh Allah, give me money." We don't ask like this. We begin, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, Ya Razzaq, Ya Kareem, Ya Sami' ad-Du'a, Ya Rabb, Ya Mawla, Ya Allah. You can mention names. And whatever dua you have, whatever ask you have, you will find a name that is appropriate for your ask. Your child is sick, Ya Shafi, Ya Kafi. You are in some financial difficulty, Ya Kareem, Ya Razzaq, Ya Mannan. You are in any distress, Ya Hannan. Whatever your pain is, whatever your ask is, you will find a name of Allah that is munasib, that is in sync and in harmony with what you are asking. And this is what Allah is saying. And our Prophet ﷺ, therefore, according to this interpretation, and again there's many interpretations, we're not going to go over all of them, but go over some of them quickly. According to this interpretation, it's not one name, it is the concept of names. And so we should not understand Ismullah al-A'zam as the one greatest name of Allah. Rather, every name of Allah is A'zam when you use it. Whatever name you use, it becomes the A'zam name. So that is another interpretation. A third interpretation, which is very similar to this one, it's really the same concept, and that is that it's not the name that you choose. Rather, it is your own humility, your own ikhlas, your own khushu', that when you invoke Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with any of His names, your khushu' is what counts here. And so the understanding here is that similar to the second one, it is any name of Allah. What is important is your humility and khushu'. Then you have a whole list of opinions. The genre will be, there is actually one special name. And then what is that special name? There's at least 10 opinions. I'm just going to quickly list some of them. Ibn Hajar, by the way, in his Fath al-Bari, he lists every one of these and he has a discussion. Obviously, we don't have time to get into the detail, but very quickly, of the opinions is huwa. Huwa. Some say huwa. And of course, there are some groups that say huwa. In reality, huwa is not a name of Allah. It is a pronoun. And so we don't agree with this, but Ibn Hajar lists it and it is there. Some people did say it. Of the opinions, Allah, the name Allah itself. And they say this name is the only name that appears in every hadith that I just mentioned, which is actually true. The only one name that appears in every single hadith without exception that mentions Ismullah al-Azam is the name Allah itself. And they say the name Allah is the most common name in the Quran. How many times does it occur in the Quran? Who knows? How many times does the name Allah occur in the Quran? Yes. 300, 200, 400. Add another 0, 3,000 times. The name of Allah occurs around 2,970 something, 2,970, 3,000, roughly 3,000 times, ballpark figure. The name Allah, I mean, think about it. Every page has the name Allah multiple times. Then the Quran, our printing has 600 pages. Every page has at least 3, 4, 5 times the name of Allah. How can it be only 300? That means every 2 pages once Allah's name occurs. No, the name of Allah is 3. There is no other name that is anywhere close in ballpark. No other name. Only the name of Allah, it occurs in the 4 digits, 3,000 plus. Every other name of Allah, maximum 2 digits. 50, 60, 70 times, maximum. No other name of Allah occurs even more than 100 times, except the name Allah itself. So the other opinion, the name Allah is Ismullah al-A'zam. And the name Allah also is Allahumma. They're the same name. Because in Arabic, Ya Allah becomes Allahumma. So Ya Allah is the same as Allahumma. That's why you do not say Ya Allahumma, that is wrong. The Arabs, pre-Islam, they venerated the name Allah so much, they made a special Ya for Allah only. And that is Allahumma. In other words, Allahumma means Ya Allah, same thing. That's why you do not say Ya Allahumma, because you're doing a double. It doesn't work that way. So the other opinion, it is the name Allah. The next opinion, what are we now for? The fourth opinion is the grand name of Allah is Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum. And they say this is the name that occurs in Surah Baqarah and in Surah Ali Imran and in Surah Taha. I recited Surah Taha, right? And Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-Hayy al-Qayyum. It occurs there, it occurs in Surah Ali Imran, and it occurs in Ayat al-Kursi. So the name Hayy al-Qayyum, it actually does occur. The first hadith I quoted, that the name, the Ismullah al-A'zam occurs in Surah Baqarah, Surah Ali Imran, Surah Taha. Lo and behold, al-Hayy al-Qayyum does actually occur in those three surahs. And they also say the grandest verse in the Quran is Ayat al-Kursi, right? The grandest verse, right? The most blessed verse. And what is Ayat al-Kursi? Allahu la ilaha illahu al-Hayy al-Qayyum. So they say the grandest verse and the grandest name, obviously they should be in the same. So they say al-Hayy al-Qayyum is the grand name of Allah. The next opinion, al-Hannan al-Mannan. And that occurs in the second hadith I quoted. Al-Hannan al-Mannan. Al-Hannan means the one whose mercy is very powerful. Al-Mannan means the one who gives and gives and gives. So Hannan and Mannan. Then there are other opinions as well. I'm just going to go over them. Badi'u as-samawati wal-ard. Dhul jalali wal-ikram. Allahu la ilaha illa hu. Al-Ahad as-Samad. Alladhi lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. That's a whole opinion by itself. Another opinion, Rabb. The name Rabb. And Rabb is a comprehensive name because it means my Lord, my cherisher, my master, my protector, the one who's going to take care of me. That's what Rabb means. So another opinion is the name Ar-Rabb. And another opinion is it is the dua of Yunus when he was in the whale. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. And there are other opinions as well. But to conclude, Wallahu a'lam. If it is one particular name, it is either Allah or Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum. These are the two names or the two combinations that are without a doubt perhaps the most powerful. Nonetheless, I am very sympathetic to the second opinion as well, which is it's not necessarily a particular phrase. It is your niyyah, your ikhlas, and using the right name of Allah. And this goes back to the reality. We as Muslims don't believe that if you say something magically, something happens. That's not how dua works. That's not how ibadah works. Ibadah is a worship of the heart. Ibadah is humility. Ibadah is submission to Allah. Ibadah is not reciting like a parrot. So we have a misconception. If I say the magic words, then this is going to happen. It doesn't work that way. Our religion is not astaghfirullah, hocus pocus, mumbo jumbo. Astaghfirullah. Our religion is khushu'. Our religion is taqwa. Our religion is ikhlas. It's in the heart. So it's not what you say, it is how you say it. So if you raise your hands to Allah and your heart is full of humility, it is full of iman, and you then verbalize some of the majestic names of Allah. And of course, in every dua, you can say Rabbana, you can say Allahumma, you can say Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum, you can say all of these names, and then you add other names of Allah, then for sure you would have utilized the grand name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you utilize the grand name of Allah, what will happen? Allah will listen to your dua. One final point here, and I've gone over this much more detail. What does it mean Allah will listen? What does it mean Allah will respond? If you say Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum, I want $1 million right now, and you think this is Ismullah al-A'zam, will I go home and find $1 million in my bank account? Maybe I will. I hope I will, inshallah. But if I don't, does this mean Allah has not listened to my dua? No. This is another misconception. Listening to the dua means you will be rewarded for having asked it. And Allah will give you something, either what you want or something better than what you needed. You might not even have wanted it because you don't know what's good for you. Allah gave you something better than what you asked for. So Allah has listened to your dua and Allah will respond. But Allah's response is not, now if you ask for the akhirah and you are sincere, Allah will give it to you. But if you ask for the dunya, and you are sincere, Allah will give you something that is better than what you asked for or what you asked for. So Allah will respond to your dua.